Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Minister. It's always a pleasure to see you. Well, I'm just going to start this meeting with a bang. The cat is out of the bag. After 8 months, as reported by the Financial Post, it is reporting that you will finally have a plan for the airline sector. Finally, after 8 months. After losing between 27 billion and 37 billion of GDP, after losing 400,000 to 500,000 jobs in this sector, after all other G7 nations giving a median of $30 billion to their sectors before us, after Canada losing 14% of our transatlantic share, after rapid testing was implemented by the private sector, Minister, by the private sector at YYZ and YVR, when that should have been the lead of your government, and most importantly, Minister, after families crying, calling me because they had lost their jobs, they didn't know how they were going to provide livelihoods for their families, CEOs of airlines phoning me saying they felt devastated, laying off workers, wondering how they were going to face their employees day after day after day, families sending me photos of them in their uniforms with children, Minister. Why has it taken you and your government 8 months, 8 long months to respond to the airline sector and provide them with what we hope is this week, finally, a plan?
Mr. Minister.
Thank you very much for the question and a little bit of historical context. When this pandemic started back last winter, our government energies were focused on helping Canadians, and we came up rapidly with programs like the emergency response benefits, the wage supplement, measures to help with rent, measures to help small businesses, seniors, etc. Since that time, of course, we have evolved, and we at the time had no idea how serious this pandemic would be and how long it would last. Now, over the intervening months, we have been able to get a good sense of how much this has impacted the air sector, and you're right, it certainly has impacted the air sector in many, many ways, chiefly because they've lost approximately 90% of their revenues. And that is why, as I've indicated many times in the past few weeks, we have been working on a set of measures that are focused on ensuring that when we come out of this pandemic and during the time that we are in it, that we will still be able to have an air sector that is viable, affordable, and safe.
Well, thank you, Minister. Thank you, Chair. Well, I have been very proud to act as their advocate during the time that I have been Shadow Minister for Transport Minister. And today, as you go to announce your plan, I will continue to act as their advocate. So, Minister, can you assure me on this call today, in this meeting today, that you will include within your plan protection for workers, that when this money is issued, there will be no further layoffs in the airline sector? Will that be a part of your plan, of the funds that will be provided to the airline sector, that you can assure us that there will be no more layoffs when you give this money, please?
Mr. Minister.
Yes, so well, let me say, first of all, Ms. Cusey, I have no problems with your questions. You're doing your job, which is to ask those questions. And I can tell you that we are looking at a series of measures, and those measures do include the workers that have been affected. I have met with the unions. I have spoken to them. I've heard their concerns. I've met with all of the stakeholders, whether it's airports, whether it's the airlines themselves, whether it's mayors, whether it's provincial representatives. So we are looking at the whole picture in terms of coming up with a series of measures. And when we have landed on those measures, we will, of course, make them public.
Thank you, Minister. I will now ask you, will you provide within your plan protection for consumers, those tens of thousands of Canadians that have not received refunds from the airline sector as a result of your inability to provide viability for the airline sector? In providing what I hope is finally viability for the airline sector, can you make the commitment today, please, that you will also take care of these tens of thousands of Canadians who have spent tens of thousands of dollars, who have gone into debt and not received refunds? Will you ensure that these consumers are protected, Minister?
Mr. Minister.
Thank you for the question. And as I have said, I'm certainly aware of the fact that there are many consumers who would have preferred to have a refund as opposed to a voucher, and they have expressed themselves very, very clearly on that. Again, as I say, we are looking at the whole picture in terms of the effects of this pandemic, not only on the air sector itself, but on the passengers who make use of that air sector. And of course, as you will know, being a politician, I'm not at liberty to come out today in this committee and to discuss all of the details of what we are going to do, but I can only reassure you that we're looking at the whole picture at this time.
Thank you, Minister. I would also ask, I believe I have 20
Kusi.
seconds left, Chair, according to...
No, actually, we're over by 25 seconds. So, sorry. Ms. Jacek, for 6 minutes.
Point of order, Chair. Pardon me. Do I not get 6 minutes?
You get. Oh, did I have you at 5 minutes? I do apologize.
Yes. No, that's okay, Mr.
Apologize.
Chair.
Go
That's
ahead,
okay.
Ms.
That's right. I appreciate that.
Go ahead.
Thank you kindly, Chair. Then, Minister, I would ask also kindly that you tie to the plan, please, compensation restrictions for executives, that these funds will not go to executives. And please take care, Minister, of all regional routes. I am asking you on behalf of all regions of Canada to ensure that all regional routes are taken care of in Canada. Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Kusi. Mr. Minister, with a short comment.
Very quickly, again, thank you for your input, Ms. Kusi. And we have very clearly said in the speech from the throne, in fact, that regional routes are a priority for us. We actually highlighted it in the speech from the throne.
Thank you, Mr. Minister.